Your face is costing you $250,000. In exactly 100 milliseconds, the world has already sorted you based on your clinical bone structure. Personality is a lie. Facial math is the reality. This is a secret the top 1% will not admit. If you still think vanity is a choice, you've already lost the game. Your face is your resume, and most of you are getting rejected in zero point 0.1 seconds. In 1/10 of a second, the world has already decided if you're competent, aggressive, or trustworthy. They're not looking at your suit, they're looking at your face. Specifically, your FWHR, your facial width to height ratio. Men with wider faces are instinctively seen as more dominant. It is why you see guys obsessing over mewing and jawline fillers. It's not just vanity. It's a survival tactic. Economists found that below average looking men earn 9% less than their peers. Over your lifetime, that's a $250,000 tax on your face. When a man tries to hack his jawline, he's not trying to be a model, he's trying to claw back the 9% the world is trying to steal from him.
But the worst part is not that you are being judged, it is that you're doing it too. Because you walk into a room and you've already filed everyone into a hierarchy way before you even find out their names. We'd like to think that we're above it, but we are still running a software from 100,000 years ago. It's just how we're wired.
But it's not just about old wiring. It's about a massive historical shift in what defines a real man. You're not pressured to be a man. You are pressured to be beautiful. Your grandfather was allowed to be ugly. As long as he provided and showed up, he was a man. But somewhere in the last 30 years, rugged was replaced by beautiful. You were sold a lie that character is king, while the world was quietly building a hierarchy based on dimorphism and facial symmetry. We swapped the stoic provider with the genetic elite. You're not competing with a guy next door anymore. You are competing against a digital algorithm of perfection that has rewired how every woman and every boss sees your value. This is not a trend. It is a total takeover of the male identity. And this shift has triggered a massive spike in body dysmorphia among men. Why? Because we have entered a world where a man is expected to have the discipline of an athlete, skin of a model, and the resume of a CEO. We took the aesthetic pressure that has crushed women for a century and copy and pasted it onto men. The only difference? Men still don't have the permission to admit how much it sucks.
And I see this with my own friends. We will talk about work, hobbies, or money, but we would never admit that we're worried about how we look. It's an unwritten rule. You have to care deeply about how you look, but you have to act like you don't care at all.
Your face is a biological receipt, and it immediately says if you're a hero or a loser. The world is running a biological background check on you in 100 milliseconds, and it is looking for 3 specific markers. First, canthal tilt. This is the eye slope, the angle between the inner and outer corners of your eyes. A positive tilt where the outer corners is higher signals aggression, alertness, and dominance. A negative tilt, that is the sad dog look. It signals high cortisol and low social threat. The world does not see kind eyes. It sees a man who has already been defeated. Second, the power ratio. FWHR. This is your facial width to height ratio. It is the literal math of your skull. Research shows that men with wider faces, higher ratios, are perceived as more physically imposing and even more successful in negotiations. It is the CEO bone. If your ratio is off, people do not see you as a leader. They see someone who is meant to take orders. Third, the testosterone receipt. This is the depth of your brow ridge and the width of your jaw. It is a physical proxy of how much testosterone you processed during puberty. High dimorphism, you are a high value threat. Low dimorphism, you're pretty much invisible.
Naturally, some of this is fixed. Like you cannot change your bone structure without surgery. But most men are feeling the skin because their facial harmony is off. So there's a math to balancing your look that most people completely miss. So if you're curious about the exact formula for your specific face, I do private one-on-one audits to break it down.
People fail to notice that when you are not allowed to talk about the pressure of looking good, you have to hide behind technical jargon. That is how we ended up with the weird clinical world of looksmaxing. Looksmaxing is what happens when men are too embarrassed to say they want to be hot. Go onto any looksmaxing male creator channel and you will rarely hear the word beauty. You will hear about canthal tilts, maxillary recessions, and jawline protrusion. This is vanity shame. Most men feel a deep primal embarrassment for wanting to be attractive, so they turn grooming into a technical manual. They use cold, clinical language to make it feel like they're fixing a machine instead of a face. Men use this jargon as a shield. If it's biohacking, it's masculine. If it's getting a facial, it's feminine. It is a way to obsess over your looks without feeling like you've lost your manhood. But under the heavy words is a simple, painful truth. Men are terrified that if they do not look perfect, the world will just swipe left on them.
Look, the reason these looksmaxing creators are blowing up is simple. Dating apps have turned men into products on a shelf. When everything is just a swipe, you don't even get the chance to show who you are unless you hit a certain look. If your jawline is soft, you're ignored before you even say a word. Your personality is basically a secret, and nobody's going to bother if they don't like the packaging first.
We have to stop acting like this is just a TikTok trend for gym bros. Average is no longer the baseline. It's a failing grade. We have spent years telling men their achievements are not enough. Now, we are doing the same to their faces. Most men will stay invisible because they are too afraid to admit the scanner exists. Do not be one of them. If you want the clinical math of your specific face, the exact formula to bypass the filter, I do one-on-one audits. Link in the description. I'll see you in the next one.